everyone, it's Jena here, and today I am designing for Bramble. The layout I am making today, it uses some products from the March 2022 Fox box, and I'll leave a link in my description box to the sign-ups for that if you're not already a subscriber. And I do also pull in a few other products from the shop, so I will leave some links to those as well. So today I'm starting off with some florals, and these are from the Paige Evans Bungalow Lane collection. I must admit I couldn't actually get my hands on a pack of the floral ephemera, so I waited until the collection was available on AC Digitals, and I bought a couple of the ephemera packs on there. So I've got a whole bunch of florals and other sort of elements at my disposal to print as much as I want, as frequently as I want. So if you did miss out like I did, just know that AC Digitals is a great way to get your hands on these if you've got a printer. So I have taken my paper piercing tool and I've poked a whole bunch of holes in my florals, and I'm adding some hand stitching details to each and every one of these. There's quite a few in the end and it took several hours, but I really just love the detail and the texture that a bit of machine stitching, a bit of hand stitching adds to these. So I've just used, I think it's called a running stitch, just on the petals and the yellow bit, and I'm just going to add some French knots to the centre. Please excuse the wine glass on my desk. I decided to have a nice little drink. It was a Friday night and I thought, what better way to spend the evening than with a glass of wine and doing a little bit of sewing. Perfect, right? I promise it was Friday. Okay, so now all of my florals are done. You can see them at the top of the screen there. I've decided to add in a little bit of Distress Oxide to my background, and this is in the shade Bundled Sage. It's a beautiful, beautiful green colour. I also took a bit of the ink to my acrylic block and diluted it with some water and just used that to create some splatters on the page too. So here we are, you can see all of the florals that I added some stitching to, and I've also got a few leaves in there as well. And essentially what I'm trying to do here is to create kind of like a mirrored design. So I've got a big cluster to the bottom left hand corner of my page, and essentially that's mirrored again to the top right hand corner. So I've got a couple of photos here, and these are a few years old actually. I was trying to think about when these were taken earlier, and I was really surprised because I didn't realise they were so long ago. But I think these are from a few years ago now, perhaps in between lockdowns, I think, or maybe even pre-lockdown. I don't know. I can never tell anymore. But this is just it's one photo printed twice, of myself and my boyfriend, and I thought these would work perfectly with the beautiful florals and also this beautiful perspective piece that you can see on my page there, which reads My Special Someone. So I've got my photos and I'm just going to adhere those with some double-sided tape to some plain green cardstock just to create a bit of a border. And then I'm just going to add some foam to the back of those just to prop them up off of the page, create a little bit of height and dimension there as well. And I'm just going to slot those into that bottom left-hand cluster. So I spent a bit of time off camera just sticking all my florals down. These are mostly stuck up with some foam squares, so it's a very dimensional page, although you can't really see it that well at this angle, but trust me, it is. And I did also have a play about thinking about what other perspectives I might be able to bring in, and I had some really cute cameras that you can see on there already. Spoiler alert, they don't all make it, but I thought they might work because of the colours, but they didn't. Well, two of them didn't, one of them did. Anywho, I've also got some hearts there as well, and I do decide to use a few of those because they are just the perfect size and they are in the perfect colours to go out really well with my layout. So I've got some Bungalow Lane stickers, as you can see, and I've just taken one of them. It's a little banner piece. I think it says something like capture the moment. It's really quite sweet, and I thought was very appropriate. So I stuck that to some scrap white cardstock, and I've just placed that on top of my rightmost photo. I don't think at this point it's stuck, but I do come in and add some foam squares underneath that. In the meantime, I've taken some sequins out, as well as these perspective hearts, and I'm just gonna add some PVA glue to those just to get those stuck in place. And I'm not using anything fancy at all. I know a lot of people like using glossy accents as their sort of gluing medium. Very technical term. But no, I'm just using some cheap and cheerful glue, and to be honest, it works very well for me. So I quite like using it. So I've also got a camera there that you can see. I've stuck it to a piece of scrap white cardstock, and it's really just because I want to put it on the bottom of my rightmost photo. It just looks a bit odd because they're not completely opaque, and you can kind of see half of the photo popping out and then half of the white background. So I thought I'd stick it to some white cardstock, and I'm so much happier with how that looks. I'm just going to stick that on with some glue. And then I do come in and add a bit more of that beautiful green colour just to those floral clusters. I felt like it wasn't showing too well where I'd sort of overlaid my florals onto my mixed media. So I'm just going to take some pink acrylic paint, and I'm going to paint that onto my perspective. I found that it was really hard to get a photo of this because it was white perspective on a white background, and it just wasn't really showing up too well. So I decided I'd come in with some pink paint just to make it a little bit more visible, and I thought that little pop of pink worked really well. So there we are, that is the final layout. It's just coming up now. I've also got some close-ups on the way too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed seeing it come together. I absolutely loved making it. It was a labour of love. But like I say, I'll link everything in my description box. So if you see anything you like, you can check it out. If you have got any comments, please do let me know. And I hope to see you again in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.